Hey guys, Chris Dickerson here, also with Cody Bradshaw, bringing you some commentary on the 2 days in May at the Blockhouse in Spotsylvania, Virginia.
Hey guys, Cody here. We're taking you to the Sunnyside this round, where we have Calvin Heimburg and myself, deadlocked at 26 under. Michael Johansen joining us 1 back, and Barry Schultz 4 back. You're going to see some weather in this round. It was a little bit of a downpour right after the dark side, and so here we go. This round started off on hole 11, and this was a long 550-foot hole. And all you're trying to do is get past the Guardians that I just did. That's all you're trying to do. Get a hyzer out there, out in the middle of the fairway, and have a nice little easy out shot. The rain here was definitely playing a factor in my mind. Tough situation. Your first lead card, final round in an 8th here for myself, and feeling a little bit of nerves, feeling the rain. Let that one slip out of my hand. MJ puts a great shot out there. I tried to rush it a little bit, just to avoid the rain. But I like to go out here, kind of get calm in the rain, make sure everything's dry. Barry's going a little early left, but you can go a little left and still kind of cut the corner. I threw a D1 off the tee, and I'm going to throw the same disc and try and get a nice slick roller to cut all the way across, but instead I go into the woods on the right side off the spot.
Yeah, it looks like there wasn't enough angle on that, and it just cut well into the woods.
Yeah.
Barry leaves it just a little bit short. MJ from the one rough spot on the fairway.
Yeah, it's like I think it's an old Civil War bunker that is there, and it's just really deep and really like grassy. I had a tough shot from the knee underneath some twigs, a little bit uphill, didn't really have the line I could get all the way up to the bucket, was just trying to put somewhere up there.
Just a little long, trying to save your par on that hole.
Yeah. Barry for a 3. Catch it to the right side and roll away. This green is actually pretty sloped. You can't really see it, but that was a nasty roll away.
Ends up further away on his second putt than he was on his first.
Barry takes a 5 there. Calvin actually had a really nice out from where he was. Down on the right side where he was actually pretty much an 8th fairway. And it's pretty heavily wooded on the left side, so to get to where he is, that was actually a really nice shot. The umbrella tap in. I'm really happy that one actually.
Yeah, I think I had a couple of those myself that round. It was just raining so hard you didn't want to put your umbrella down at all.
Yeah, the first start of the round, it was really fun and it was tough. As you see us all, this is the hole. Generally, it's a pretty easy 3. Sometimes you can get a long look at 2, and here we're all taking 4s and 2 5s. So Calvin moves out to a 1-stroke lead over myself and MJ.
Hole 12, about 250 feet. You want to go straight, then with a little bit of right finish. There is a tree, you can barely see it, that hangs over the fairway. Makes a little bit of a ceiling.
Yeah, so there's 2 pin placements here. We're playing the one to the right. MJ right now is throwing a pretty good shot. Catches some of the Guardians though. This is generally just a nice smooth putter or a flick. I'm guessing that Chris, you probably flicked A2.
I think I actually threw a PA4 both rounds.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I threw a very flippy PA1 there just to try and I throw it low because of the tree that Chris was talking about. Just trying to get down there and have a nice little skid, give myself a look. Barry looked like he had a little trouble with the tee box too.
Calvin gets a small skip off that gravel road, but it looks like he sticks in the water just past the basket. As does Barry.
Start calling Barry forehand Barry at the range.
I know, I think he's throwing more forehands at this tournament than I've ever seen him.
After taking that 5, I was lining this one up thinking I needed this.
Woo. Knocks it down.
Yeah, I got the Chris straddle or Chris step putt going right now. Took it out of his playbook and it's been working for me pretty well.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of looks familiar there.
I watched you make enough of them that I figured I should probably do it.
Calvin's sporting one of those big towels that a lot of people in our area do. Looks like looks like Zach has rubbed off on him a little bit since he's been up here.
Yeah, just a little bit. Alright, hole 12, I take the lone birdie, move back into a tie for the lead, and we move on to hole 13. Short pad's pretty easy. This pad, however, is a hard right with that single guardian tree right there in the middle. And all I'm looking to do here, because it's raining, is just throw a nice little mid-range on a turn, up the gut, and see what it does. And whoop! Nice little slip on the tee pad, hit the guardian tree, and I'm over by where we just were on the balls. Fairway.
Now, for this fairway, do you want to go right side or left side of that middle tree?
I really, if I'm going for it and I'm taking the fairway, like Calvin's about to do here with this Viper, I'm going to go inside of that tree. Just like Calvin does, right there. Great line. And he gets right up there to the mouth of the opening. That's the line that you want. If I'm playing it for the layup, I'm taking a mid-range or a putter around the outside, trying to get, 50 short of that little hole, just so I can get up in there. MJ unfortunately hits the same tree I do, and he picks left. And he's in a similar position that I am, which is not pretty, folks. Barry going with this purple Starfire.
Good shot, Barry.
You don't see a lot of people throw those now.
Yeah, I don't, and that is actually a pro Starfire, which, I don't know if I've ever seen him throw one of those, but Barry throws that really well. So as you can see, I'm over on 12's hole, and I'm literally just trying to punch in and get back to our fairway, and it's just a little flick and hope it gets through the hole. MJ is throwing a backhand roller here and trying to roll up into the deep stuff out there so he can save his 4. Threw a little touch flip there, just a little wide, caught some trees, and I have a long look at 4.
MJ with a sidearm.
Man, I'll tell you, I saw so many sidearms I never thought I'd see in this tournament. MJ, Barry, just all day.
Calvin for 2.
That is probably about a 65-footer from the mouth of that. I mean, look how many steps he's running. He's 7 feet tall, so you know that those are big strides.
Just tickles the left side.
I thought I made it when it released. I thought I made it and it just didn't.
Barry catches a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, to have a 2-look there, that's a pretty outstanding shot, though. Just to have a 2-look. MJ makes a good 4 from where he was. At this point, I'm really wishing that I had taken the score that he did, and I'm going to take a 5. Taking his time, getting ready to tap in this 3.
It looks like the rain has started to lighten up.
Yeah, so the rain isn't as downpoury as it was, and now we are going to see a little bit of mist constantly on and off, and like a light sprinkling.
Hole 14, 280 feet downhill. I think it sets up for a sidearm. There is OB behind it though, but if you get that little bit of skip, you could possibly reach it.
Yeah, this is definitely a sidearm. Some of the old veteran players are going to throw their little backhand putters here. It's a little scary. There is OB probably about 28 feet behind the bucket. And it definitely comes into play if you get a little bit too much glide out.
And there's Barry taking that line.
Yep. Throwing a good shot a little bit right. He kind of anteed that one a little bit too much. And you're going to see MJ with a flick.
And this is something even more rare than just seeing him throw a sidearm, is that he's throwing one off of the tee pad.
Yeah. Comes up a little bit short, and I think that's, that's just the rain, the cautious with the OB behind it. I'm flicking an H3 here, an old proto. Trying to just get down by that tree that's to the left of the bucket.
That's it.
So it's a little bit inside of my line, and thankfully for that tree, I'm not OB.
Yeah, it looked like that was heading straight OB after that skip.
Yeah, it was. MJ with a decent putt, just catches it a little bit high.
Barry looks like he has a little bit of a ceiling.
Yeah, he had a low ceiling and a straddle putt out and that tree in his line, and I was pretty impressed that he made that putt. That was a tough putt, because Barry likes to throw that high little hyzer in, and he kind of jammed that one in there nice and straight. I have a pretty good look here. Pretty straight on, nothing in the way, and I just missed the side, a little short. Calvin had a good drive, about 15 feet, but kind of leaves it a little short and low and cages it. So Barry takes the only birdie. And the back nine at Sunnyside is a stretch where it's get your birdies and then move to the front. It's that you want to get your birdies on the backside. It's all short holes, fairly open, complete opposite of the front side. Here you're going to see Barry. This was hole 15, a little bit uphill, 235 feet, I believe. You're trying to throw the shot that Barry did right there, and he's pretty much parked. It's just a smooth uphill shot right between the two spruces.
Looks like it slips out just a little bit, and he catches that tree on the left.
Yeah, he was saying that as he was running up there, he felt some big drops from the trees fall on his disc, and kind of just went to throw it and let it just slip right out.
Looks like MJ's lining up a banger GT.
Yep, trusty purple banger. I'm throwing a PA3 here. Didn't realize I had a towel in my pocket. There.
It looks like a white 350G with a silver stamp. This kind of looks familiar.
I'm pretty sure somebody left that in my car underneath the seat, and I decided that it was an amazing disc, and I was going to throw it. Don't know who that was, though.
No.
Yeah, I pulled it. I pulled it pretty hard. Caught the tree cabbage to the right. I'm going to have a weird look here, though, and through a little gap. And no.
Just didn't turn it enough.
No. Barry going to take his second birdie in a row. MJ going to tap in from real close. So we'll see 2 birdies and 2 pars here, and generally you want to see 4 birdies from a lead card on that hole. How straightforward it is. And we'll move on to hole 16.
Hole 16, you wanna hit this gap in the middle, and they actually moved the basket before the tournament down just short of the water, because we usually play across, but it just got so flooded and muddy that they decided to move it short of the water and a little bit to the right.
Yeah, a lot of people were shocked about that, but I mean, it gets awful across that little pond that the bucket's in front of right now. And Barry did it textbookly, and I'm trying to just throw a soft little H3 summer out, make sure I get out of the gap, threw it in the second round, and got the birdie. Figured why not do it again, and lost the disc as I was trying to throw it.
Wet!
Caught a little bit early, and 3 of us are stuck in the gap, and Barry's out there looking pretty.
Yes, sir.
Pretty good up there from the top of the hill.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Generally, the buckets out back where that lady in the umbrella and the video camera is. So this pin placement, generally you don't see in a tournament, and so it was a little bit different. You don't generally practice it. You never throw this shot. You're just trying to peg the wood line in the back and get your easy 2 and move on. And so this was a little bit harder. And this OB is only like 4 feet behind the basket. So this for Barry is a death putt, and he bangs it.
Puncher.
Oh no.
Yeah, he got it. He was waiting for it. He got a good roll there to let it sit down.
Yeah, curled up just short of it.
2 more routine pars for myself and Calvin. MJ takes the unfortunate 4 there. Generally a hole you really wanted to. So Barry moving on up, only 3 strokes off the lead now, and Calvin's still holding strong at 27 under, and we move to Pachinko. This is hole 17 at Sunnyside, 150 feet, I believe, and Barry is going to throw the grenade and park it. So a lot of people go up the middle, like Calvin. I believe you do this. Do you not, Chris? Go up the middle?
Yes, not the same line as him, but I take the straight ahead gap and get a little bit of turn out of it.
Yeah, that's a lot of play that people do, the jump putt. I try and throw my pan out summer here, and I'm probably 40 feet off the tee pad. So it was a good shot. MJ throwing a thumber roller. It's an unfortunate root skip, or that was looking actually pretty good. Now I'm just struggling and fighting to get threes. Felt pretty good with that upshot coming out of that left side. It was pretty rough in there. You can kind of get where Calvin is a little bit further. He likes to jump putt up to this right side and then have like another jump putt or a little putt into it. And he got that, gave it a good run. Goes a little bit long.
I didn't know it until this year, but a little bit behind where you all are standing is some more OB.
Yeah, I was unaware of that too until I heard somebody did that in the tournament. They didn't know about it and went long in that grass back there, and that was actually... So that's Plachinko, one of the fun holes at the Sunnyside. Short, 3,000 trees, I believe, within 150 feet, and you have to get through them somehow.
Yeah, about 3,000, give or take a tree or two.
So a bunch of threes, and Barry, once again, gonna take one of the lone birdies. And Barry moves to within 2 strokes of the lead, followed by MJ and then myself.
Hole 18, about 250 feet. I think this hole favors a left-handed player or a sidearm, just by the way the fairway is shaped.
Yeah, definitely. You walk up there and you definitely want to throw a nice little flick. And Barry just showed you how to do it with a nice little rock. Calvin early releases his a little bit, but surprisingly he's going to be up there for a nice little 2-putt.
Yeah, there is OB on the left side, kind of toward where Calvin went.
Yeah, it's a little tucked down to the left. I threw a mid-range in the second round and smashed chains and kicked out. So I figured if I'm not going to ace it with a mid-range, I'd try a putter and threw it a little low.
Looked like you got a little hop up there, maybe to about 30 feet.
Yeah, I'm a little short in that little, there's a little creek bed kind of thing that's not really, doesn't have any water in it. I'm a little short there in that. Probably about 30, 35 out. MJ gets a really unfortunate kick off the quick trees on the left. It's a really tight shot off the tee box, and then it kind of opens up.
Yeah, it looked like he almost made it over to the tiki holes.
Yeah, he was pretty close to hole 14's bucket. Yeah. This is probably from about 33 to 35 feet. I was just outside the circle. Knew I wasn't playing well, knew I needed to have it, and now I'm just wishing that I'm outside of the circle on every putt because I'm making those.
Yeah, I think I watched you make a lot of those the week before the tournament.
Yeah, we got to play a lot, some of the C-tiers and stuff together, and I was feeling pretty good with my Chris Dickerson step putt. It was doing me good. Calvin takes a birdie, looks back at the fairway, wondering how he got there. We'll talk about that for a while.
He did have a surprised look on his face.
He did. He was like, I wonder how I got there. Barry with the traditional park job, and MJ taking the bogey. Alright, and we started on hole 11, so we're going to move to hole 1, and we have some nice drone footage for you. I'm already out here before the tournament getting some stuff in. is a long par 4. You see all the campsite to the right, rope line right before it. That's all OB. Get down around the basket. There's nothing but OB to the right of it and behind it. And all you want to do here is bomb a nice flex shot way out there that holds its ante over, because if you go too far left, you're going to find some pretty thick cabbage.
Yeah, I think this hole sets up like a few holes at the USDGC. It's pretty much wide open except for the woods on the left, and it has the OB pond that you have to throw across, and the rope running the length of the fairway on the right and curling around behind the basket.
Yeah, you really do step up to the tee pad and think it's wide open and you can just bombs away. It really does feel like that, and most people do, and you'll generally find the fairway if you have a good flex line on it. I put way too much hyzer on that D1. It started to flip and I thought, okay, it might be good, and it just fades out just a little bit, and I'm where I said you don't want to be.
MJ throwing his crank. Lets it go just a little low, but he is in the middle of the fairway, so he could possibly get up there.
Yeah, that little bush that was out there in the middle, you saw this? That's kind of the landing spot right there is where that bush is. So it's just a little bit short of that, so he can still probably get up there for a putt. He throws a great shot. Gives himself a chance for a 3.
Yeah, just a little left, but I think you'll have a 28 to 30 footer.
Yeah. Calvin yanks his over to the right a little bit, and the whole time we thought that that was probably out of bounds. He's going to end up safe with a nice little 3 look.
Yeah, it looked like he caught some of those limbs on the right side, and that may have helped him back in.
For the first time in my life, I got poison ivy, and I'm still dealing with it, and this is where I got it, from standing in that stuff right there. It is awful over there. Barry with a textbook shot.
Looks like we might see another step putt here.
There's a possibility. Is he going to do it?
He does.
I walked it off and I thought I made it, and it wasn't in. I kind of walked away and
Calvin from the tall grass.
just moved it just a little bit.
Thank you.
By now the rain's stopping. It's a little saddening because we're going into the woods, and we just played all the open holes in the rain, and now the rain stops while we go into the woods, and would have loved some reverse rolls there, but MJ and Barry get their good 3s here. Barry with a drop in. Me and Calvin take 4s. Kind of a hole you want a 3. Really feel like a 3 is a pretty even score there.
Yeah, you can see why they call this the Sunnyside. We've already played way more holes that have been open compared to the dark side.
Yeah, that's the front 9. We'll see you guys soon on the back 9.